Hey, and welcome back to our brand new video. In this video, as you can see, we are going to create this beautiful looking digital clock with the help of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. As you can see here, everything is working pretty fine. So now, without wasting any further time, let's quickly jump into our tutorial. So I have already created our boilerplate of HTML. First, we are going to write HTML for our digital clock. As you can see here, we have a nav bar and then we have these four divs. First, we are going to create our nav bar, nav, in which we have a single one, which is going to be digital clock. Let me run my server. Now, let's style our nav bar, link style.css, style.css, and now let's add some general styling. Margin is going to be 0 pixels. Padding is going to be 0 pixels. As you can see here, our content is aligned towards the top perfectly. And now we are going to provide nav height of 6 rem, background of dark blue, and text align is going to be center. As you can see here, we have to make the color white of our text. Now what I am going to do is to provide display flex to our navbar and justify content is going to be center. Now our content is aligned towards the x-axis in center, and now we are going to provide align items center. As you can see here, now we have our content aligned in both axes. So this is it for our navbar. Let me add some letter spacing, which is going to be 4 pixels, let's say, and text transform is going to uppercase. And for body, the font family is going to be, let's say, Arial. Now this is all right. Now this is okay. As you can see here, everything is same. And now let's write the HTML for our clock. First we are going to have a section with a class of digital underscore clock, in which we have a container, and in container we have div of hour, in which we have an h3. The text content is going to be 0, and a paragraph in which we have hours. Now as you can see here, we have these 4 divs. Now I'm going to copy this div 3 times. Now for this class is going to be minutes. Text content of paragraph is going to minutes, and text content for seconds is going to be seconds. And here let me change the class second, and this is going to be AM PM. We are not going to need a paragraph here, and h3 is going to be, let's say, AM. Format document. As you can see here, we are done with our HTML. Now let's style our clock using CSS. Let me add some comments. Styling for our digital clock section. Let me add some just like this. And now we have section with the class of digital underscore clock. For this, height is going to be 100 VH. Let me show you. Let me provide some background color of, let's say, gray. I'm going to make it light. As you can see here, we have height of 100 VH. And now I'm going to provide display flex. Justify content is going to be center, and align items is also going to be center. Now our content is perfectly aligned. This is it for our section. Now let's target our digital underscore clock, in which we have a container. Our container display is going to be flex. As you can see here, gap is going to be 2M, and text align is going to be center. As you can see here, let me comment out our AM portion, because we are not focusing on it for now. As you can see here, now let's add some background. Dot digital clock dot container, in which we have divs. Background is going to be dark blue, just like this, and color is going to be white. Let me increase the font size. Font size is going to be 3rem. But for paragraph, font size is going to be 1.6 rem, let's say. And now let me target the H3 also. For H3, padding is going to be, let's say, 15 pixels, 20 pixels, and 70 pixels. And for paragraph, padding is going to be 10 pixels and 70 pixels, just like this. And for our paragraph, text transform is going to be uppercase, and letter spacing is going to be 2 pixels. Let me decrease the font size. I'm going to make this 1.2 rem. And now let's provide a background of gray color. I'm going to adjust this manually. Let me make it a little darker. Now it is okay. And let me make the padding 5. Opacity is going to be 0.8. I'm going to provide opacity here in our main div. As you can see here, now everything is fine. Let me add the background. In our digital clock section, I'm going to add background URL, and now our background image. As you can see here, now let's resize our image. Background size is going to be cover, just like this. And let's uncomment our AM PM div. And for this one, I'm going to target this individually. dot am pm. Let me decrease the padding. Padding is going to be 30 pixels and 10 pixels. For this one, we are going to provide the specific height, which is going to be, let's say, 30 pixels, height of 80 pixels, and width of 100 pixels. Let's say 150. And padding is going to be 0 and 0 for now. Let me make the width fit content, and I'm going to decrease the font size, which is going to be 1.7 rem. For our font size, I think we have to target our paragraph. Font size 1.7 rem. Why this is not working? Okay, we have to target H3. This is again not working. Dot container, in which we have dot ampm, and then we have H3. Let me decrease the font size. Okay, I have to provide rem. My bad. Now everything is just fine. We are having some problems. Let me check this out first. We have display padding. Okay, we have to remove the paddings also. I've already removed the padding. Okay, the padding is applied on H3, not in our class. Now, as you can see here. Now let me increase the padding from top and bottom 10 pixels and from left and right 30 pixels. And for this one, display is going to be flex, which is already flex, and I'm going to provide a property called align self, which is going to be flex end, as you can see here. Let me make this 20 pixels, just like this. Now for our styling, I think we are done for our styling. One more important thing, let's make our overflow hidden, so we don't get these scroll bars that we are having before. Let me make our index.js file, and now I'm going to attach our JS file script src and index.js. Now I'm going to provide the IDs to our h3 elements or heading elements. This is going to be heading our, same for our minutes. This is going to be minute, and for our seconds, adding underscore seconds. And I'm also going to provide an ID of adding ampm, let's say. Now let's make a const hour equals to get a document dot get element by id, and id is going to be heading underscore hour for our h3, as you can see here, heading underscore hour. And now I'm going to copy this one more time, and this is going to be min for our minutes. This is going to be minutes. Copy once again, this is going to be seconds. We have provided IDs already for all our HTMLs or all our H3 elements. This is going to be sec, and this is going to be am underscore pm, heading am pm. Let me check this once. Yep, the ID is okay. Now I have to tell you one very important thing here. Let me just make a var with a name of date, which is going to be new date. Now this new date is a JavaScript built-in function which will provide us our current details regarding to our day, date, month, and whatever time. Now let me console this, console.log date. I have called our variable in console. Now if you see here in our console, we got Saturday, month, date, year, and time. We are not going to need all of this information. For our clock, what we are going to do is new date dot means we are getting some value from our new date dot get hour. If I do this and now we see our console, we have some problem here. Okay, as you can see here, 22. I have 1044, that's why. If we say get minutes, 44 minutes, because my time is 10:44 p.m. Now I'm pretty sure you got the idea how this date function works. Now let's create a function which is going to be function update clock, and now what we are going to do is let h for hour equals to new date dot get hours, and then close. Now what we are doing here is assigning the hour in this h variable. Now let m equals to new date dot get minutes. Let me copy this one more time, and this is going to be seconds. And now let's run our function one time, update clock. But first we are going to assign values of these variables. Now what we are going to do is hour, which is as you can see here, we have the value of h3 in this hour dot inner text equals to this variable h. Now what we are doing here is assigning the value of this h, which is hours, from our date function. We are assigning the value of hours to this h3 element, which we have, as you can see, heading hour. Now if we do this and we have run our function here, we have called our function here, and now as you can see here, our hours has been updated. Now I'm going to do the same for minutes and seconds also. Min dot inner text equals to m, and sec dot inner text equals to s. And now you can see here our time has been updated, but we have to refresh every time in order to get the accurate time. We are going to fix this by running our timing functions. Now for our set timeout is a built-in function for JavaScript. Set timeout. Now we are going to make an anonymous function, and we have created an anonymous function in set timeout function, and after an anonymous function we have to provide the value that we wanted to repeat our function after. Now after every 1 second I want to repeat this update clock function. Now I'm going to run our function inside this anonymous function. So with the help of set timeout function, our function will run after every 1 second. Now as you can see here, our function is running after every 1 second. And now let's fix our AM/PM issue. For this I'm going to make a variable from my own, which is going to be AM/PM. Now this and this variable is not the same. This is AM_PM, and this is AM/PM. Don't get confused. Let AM/PM equals to AM. Our default content is also AM. Now I'm going to run a conditional statement. If age is greater than 12, what I'm saying here is if my hour is greater than 12, then age equals to age minus 12 from the value, and then our AM/PM function equals to PM. And now as you can see here, we got 10 hours 49 minutes and 42 seconds, but this thing isn't working yet. Now what we are going to do is, now we are targeting this AM_PM variable. AM_PM equals to dot inner text equals to, not this one, AM/PM. Now as you can see here, it is changed into PM. So this is it for our digital clock. I've tried my best to clear every concept regarding to this clock, and in the end of this video, if you liked my content or if you like this video, then please make sure to like and subscribe our channel. Peace out.